All right, so y'all know what time it is. About to do another Chosen One narration. Let's just get to it.
They wanted the power you carry, the influence, the presence, the respect. But they didn't want the path that forged it. They watched you rise and assumed it came easy. They envied the shine without understanding it was built in darkness, pressed by pressure, tested by pain. You didn't just wake up powerful, you were broken into it. Every scar, every setback, every moment you had to rebuild yourself in silence added weight to your crown. But they skipped that part. They wanted the end result without the journey. So they mimicked the look. They talked like you, dressed like you, tried to move like you, but it was all surface. And power without foundation is fragile. That's why it's all crumbling now. Their imitation can't carry what your truth can. Because you didn't just get power, you became it. Through loss, through betrayal, through inner battles no one saw. And now that they're wearing a version of your identity they never earned, it's breaking them. It's easy to copy style. It's hard to survive substance. They thought your power came from attention, but it came from surviving what would have destroyed most people. That's why your energy hits different. That's why they still feel small, even while pretending they've replaced you. Because deep down, they know they skipped the fire. They know they borrowed an image they can't sustain. And they know that when real pressure comes, their version of you won't hold. It never had roots, just decoration. You paid the price in full, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and they tried to counterfeit it for free. But now the cost is catching up, and the crown that looked so shiny from a distance, it's cracking. It doesn't sit right. It was never meant for them, because true power can't be faked. It can only be earned. Number 7. They thought loyalty was a lease. You treated it like a lifetime bond. They treated loyalty like it had an expiration date, something to use when convenient, and discard when it stopped benefiting them. To them it was a lease, temporary, conditional, and always negotiable. But to you, loyalty was sacred. It wasn't just a word, it was a commitment, a reflection of who you are, not just how you feel. You showed up when it wasn't easy. You defended them when they weren't around. You gave the kind of loyalty that doesn't flinch under pressure. And they took that for granted. They assumed you'd all...
Man, it's really amazing to me how somebody can break down my character like this, guys, because I can't disagree with any of it. I mean, it's like I'm speechless. I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know what to say. It's like, okay, what kind of game is this? What kind of simulation is this really? It's like somebody knows me like this, knows exactly what's gonna happen. I mean, it's like, what kind of, that's why I say I find it hard these days actually finding out what's actually important.
Always be there, always forgive, always overlook the little betrayals, the silent competitions, the shady behavior dressed up as jokes. They got too comfortable thinking your loyalty meant you had no limits. But you did. And once they crossed that line, you didn't just leave. You took your value with you. You were the glue, the one who held it all together while they played games. You brought the substance, the sincerity, the depth. Without you, it's just noise. Now they're surrounded by people who mirror them instead of challenge them. Conversations that feel full, but say nothing. Support that's based on convenience, not character. It all looks like connection, but it's empty. They didn't just lose a person.
We all know that these people don't even get along with each other. I was the only thing holding the thing together, whether I was a friend or foe, good or bad, love me or hate me, I'm the only thing holding this shit together. I mean, right now, everybody got something to focus on and talking about me and looking at me and my life and stuff like this. I mean, you could pretty much watch one video of mine, guys, and you could tell that I'm not like your average Joe out here. You know what I mean? Like, it's so obvious. You watch the average YouTube channel out here, at least when I do, You can kind of pick up on people's egos and you know facades. Everybody has a facade. I don't. I mean, when I talk to you guys, I think you can clearly see I'm just a boy from next door. It's undeniable. I have no ulterior motives but to come on here and just be myself. I have no other agenda.
Lost access to realness, protection, and presence. You weren't another follower in their circle. You were the reason that circle had any meaning. And now that you're gone, they're realizing what you brought can't be duplicated. The truth is, you were never asking for perfection, just reciprocity. And when they couldn't even meet you halfway, you stopped showing up entirely. Now they're looking around, wondering why everything feels off, why the energy has shifted. It's because the weight you carried silently is gone. And all that's left are expired connections and alliances that look good for photos but fall apart when real life hits. You didn't leave out of spite. You left out of self-respect. And they're finally learning loyalty isn't rented, it's earned.
People who behave like this clearly don't know themselves, because when you know yourself, you just simply don't have time to be focused on somebody else. You really don't have the time. Uh, y'all always know, I always tell y'all that I'm just striving to try to be better than who I was yesterday. And that's a lifelong uh, journey. I don't have time to focus on other people's lives like that, to the point where I'm trying to make moves based on how they making moves and stuff. I mean, these people clearly don't know themselves. It's obvious.
Number 8. They prayed for your downfall, then panicked when you rose through the ashes. They wanted to see you fall. Some even needed it. Not because you wronged them, but because your growth challenged the version of themselves they were too afraid to.
Some of y'all really want to know, like, do y'all, like, some of y'all want to know, you had to know, like, some of this was going on. Yeah, I did, but guys, but I couldn't focus on it. I didn't have time to focus on it. I knew something was off with these people. Okay? Because there I was just being myself, and everybody just seemed like lost, trying to base their reality on what I was doing. The people didn't seem to have their own mind. That was obvious to me growing up. Everybody I was around did not have their own mind. But I did. And that's why I was singled out like that.
In front. So they whispered, plotted, smiled in your face while secretly hoping life would humble you in the worst way. They didn't want a lesson. They wanted a crash, a breakdown, proof that you weren't as strong, focused, or favored as you appeared. But it didn't go the way they planned. You didn't just survive the fire. They had to watch you walk through it and come out stronger than ever. And that's when the panic set in, because they couldn't explain it. You weren't supposed to recover. You weren't supposed.
So they had to break me down, because breaking me down meant that who they were was real or okay. If they didn't break me down, then that meant that they were nothing but a bunch of fucking phonies.
To glow. You weren't supposed to show up smiling, winning, growing in ways they couldn't keep up with.
Can you imagine, guys, coming into the world like this with all arrows pointing at you? You know, family's supposed to be the most important thing in your life, and you come into this world and everybody's just throwing shots at you, and you have no idea why. This would have broke the average person down.
Your comeback wasn't just unexpected. It was uncomfortable. You became a mirror they couldn't avoid. Every time they saw you thriving, it reminded.
This is the reason why I feel like if when I do decide, you know, you have to pick your battles, you have to pick your spots. And when I pick my spots to be an asshole, I have every fucking right to. Because I wouldn't wish this on nobody to go through something like this. I mean, life is short, and you dealing with people who main focus is to break you down. Your own family, all this shit we got to deal with out in this world, and you expect the people who supposed to, you know, well, I mean, it's not all of them, but again, my situation, a whole community. And I'm supposed to think that I'm equal to the average person out here who would have got broken down, who would have off themselves or did whatever. I don't know anybody that could have went through what I've went through. So when I pick my spots to be an asshole, I got every fucking right to be.
Them of the parts of themselves they keep ignoring, the dreams they gave up on, the self-sabotage they still feed, the bitterness they wear like armor. You were supposed to crumble, but you became a living reminder of everything they chose not to become. Now they sit with the realization that trying to destroy you didn't stop your destiny. It just revealed theirs.
I must be a bad motherfucker, man, for this many people to focus on me. I must be a bad motherfucker. I'm telling you, like, badder than Jordan, badder than Mayweather, badder than all these people who I idolize. They ain't even have a whole community going against them, for God's sakes.
And that's the part they can't silence. It's easy to laugh when someone's low, but when that same person rises and exposes your envy without saying a word, that's the kind of defeat that doesn't heal with time. Your success didn't just prove them wrong, it exposed their fear. And deep down, they know it. That's why the same mouths that once cheered for your downfall now stay silent when your name comes up. Because watching you rise was never supposed to happen, but it did. And it burned them more than any fire you walked through ever could. Number 9, they mocked the...
Can you people really imagine that? Being born into a family and their main agenda is to break you down. That's why I made the videos talking about, you know, my so-called family is the only terrorists I ever known. I mean, you want to talk about terrorism? I don't have any other examples of terrorism. Coming to this world into a family that's sole mission is to destroy you. And I still walk around in a good mood after hearing all this crap. I have a right to be a little bit of an asshole. I have a right to say, yeah, some people should be kissing my ass right now because guess what? I did some shit that they couldn't walk a half block in my motherfucking shoes.
process, then envied the product. They mocked every step you took when the road was rough. When you were struggling, learning, falling, and getting back up, they laughed or rolled their eyes like it was a joke. Something beneath them or not worth their time. They made fun of your hustle, your patience, your slow progress, and every scar that came with it. But what they really feared wasn't your struggle. It was the transformation.
I must be a bad motherfucker.
They hated.
You know, this is the proof right here that celebrities, all these people that we idolize, I mean, goddamn, man, like, all this over me. Like, I must be a, man, let me tell you, I must be a bad motherfucker for this many people to focus all their energy on. You got all these assholes out here. You got all these people out here, and all the focus goes on me. Like I'm enemy number one, and I'm just out here just surviving, and I'm enemy number one. Wow, I must be a bad motherfucker. Let me tell you.
That you were willing to endure the hard work and discomfort they ran from. Then, when you finally emerged on the other side, stronger, sharper, shining in ways they only dreamed about, they couldn't hide their envy. The same people who dismissed your effort now stared, jealous and unsettled, because you had something they couldn't fake, authenticity forged through pain. You had the glow of someone who earned every bit of their success through fire, while they were left with cheap imitations and empty promises. They envied the product because it reflected what they never had the guts to become. They wanted the applause without the grind, the spotlight without the sacrifice. They copied the surface but missed the foundation. Your shine was real because it came from surviving what they ran away from. That envy shows in the way they distance themselves, talk behind your back, or try to dim your light in subtle ways. They can't stand your success because it calls out their own fears and excuses. They're haunted by the fact that while you were busy building, they were busy avoiding the fire. So yes, they mocked the process. But deep down...
Well, we're going to go ahead and stop it right there, guys. Well, I've hoped I've done my job, guys, because, you know, I'm all out of bubble gum. I hope I've done my job because I don't want to. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that job. People talk about all these soul contracts, all this stuff that I really don't understand. I just want to live my life, be at peace, have a family, and do what all these other people that I see every day get to do that I didn't get to do. And I mean, am I gonna get that, or I'm just gonna have to keep listening to these videos every day, doing these stupid YouTube videos? I hope not. I hope not, because I don't have anything else. This job right here, this job is done. I don't have any more labor to give to this job. Nothing else to give. I don't have nothing else to prove. Absolutely nothing. We're gonna stop right here though, guys. We'll talk about this later. All right, peace.